I am Rami, and I am the Healthcare AI Lead Data Scientist at Digital Workforce. We work in the field of robotic process automation, where we automate boring, repetitive tasks on the computers using digital workers or digital robots. These digital robots are very good at simple tasks like opening Excel files or accessing a web portal, but they do tend to require support when doing more complex business process automation. And that's where AI jumps in. In my mind, the robots are the hands and AI is the brain. I come from a generation of data scientists who started when there wasn't so many study options to become a data scientist. This was in the beginning of the current AI boom, and the sudden increase in demand was met by people deciding to pivot from related fields into data science. My background is in mathematics. I got my PhD in pure math around 2016 and then continued on a research path for several years. However, at some point, information theory and AI started to get more and more interesting, and slowly but surely I pivoted towards AI, starting at 2020 in Digital Workforce as a data scientist. I've always considered programming to be a sort of concrete version of mathematics, and I've had this on-again, off-again relationship with programming ever since high school. After I got my PhD and started doing research full-time, I noticed that I was getting more and more drawn into the recent breakthroughs in AI. It took some effort, but luckily I was able to combine my research and studying information theory and AI, thus combining business with pleasure. My typical workday is usually not very typical, so I have a huge amount of variance in my day-to-day life. Depending on the status and type of projects I'm doing, I might be spending all day elbow deep in code, or I might spend weeks just discussing AI with colleagues and clients. Especially with the recent advances in AI, there is a huge amount of people who are confused or at least curious about AI, but they don't have the time to study all the fundamentals themselves. I think one of my core skills is explaining complex ideas to other people, and thus I spend more or less time explaining AI both to colleagues and our external customers. And I most prefer when I get to do a little bit of both. As Healthcare AI Lead Data Scientist, I am responsible for the projects where we handle healthcare data, medical data, or otherwise work with the healthcare providers. With the current almost chronic shortage of nurses, doctors, and other medical personnel, it is crucial that we don't waste their time on repetitive, boring tasks on the computer. They are some of my favorite projects where I get to actually see how we free their valuable time to patient work. Another very crucial aspect of my specific title is the fact that as this is a heavily regulated field, which is a good thing, we really have to focus on documentation and really communicating with the clinical staff on what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, and who's going to be monitoring it. In the big picture, my very favorite things is when I get to see how we free the valuable time of professionals from boring tasks to more meaningful work. On a more daily basis, I enjoy solving technical problems, especially when I get to apply AI in situations where the more traditional algorithms just cannot cut it. Are you interested in a career related to AI? Well, you watching this video and taking this course is a very good first sign. There is a lot to learn in AI, and what I would most recommend, besides all the reading and courses you might take, is to find a project that you're actually interested in. It's much better to have your learning be driven by a project than just reading books for books' sake. This project doesn't have to be fancy, it doesn't have to be worth of a portfolio or a CV, but it needs to be something you actually get at least a little bit excited about. It could be trying to classify the picture of your cat from other cats, or it could be trying to detect spam from your email folder. Whatever actually gets you excited. Both AI and process automation luckily have very active communities. I watch webinars pretty much on a weekly basis, and almost daily I get email notifications of my favorite blogs updating. 80% of my learning comes from amassing small factoids into larger components. The rest 20% comes from larger projects where I actively aim to learn something new. There's more than one path to AI. Use your background for advantage.